Welcome to Q&A practice. Let's start out with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? Here we go. Did Mr. Brand tell you what condition those plates were in when he found them? He told me that they were folded. He had to unfold them to verify to see the plate number. Were you told, and did you know specifically the license plate number for Teresa Hallbeck's vehicle that you were looking for? Yes. And did the license plates that you saw match the tag number or license plates of Teresa Hallbeck? Yes. I'm just going to show you a photo. It's Exhibit 141. Tell the jury what that is, please. This is a photo of the license plate the way I saw it when it was pointed out to me. Who took that photo? I did. Showing the jury now what's been identified by you as number 141. What are we looking at? We're looking at the license plate as it sat in the back part of that station wagon in the condition that Bill had left it at. Bill Brand? Yes. Who took this photo? I did. And so do you know that to be what you saw that day? Yes. The license plate SWH582, is that depicted in exhibit number 141? Yes, it is. And in fact, was that a match with the license plates that you were told you were looking for? Yes. Mr. Weigert is going to hand you and show you two exhibit numbers now. I will bet they are 142 and 143. I wouldn't touch them though. I'm wrong again. 152 and 153. I'll first show you what is marked 152 and ask you to identify that if you can and tell the jury what it is. That would be the license plate that we were looking for, the registration number. All right. Mr. Weigert, could you show us and show the jury, please? Now the differentiation between these two, this 152 that actually has an expiration tag on it, is that correct? That is correct. That would usually be the back plate or the front plate. That would be the rear plate, yes. Show you number 153 now. Tell us what that is. And that would also be the license plate for the license plates we were looking for. Would that be the front plate or the back plate? That would be the front plate, and you are able to identify those, and they look the same or similar other than being separated as they did on the 8th of November. Is that correct? That is correct. Judge, we will move the admission of the photos and the two license plates at this time. Any objection? No objection. Very well, the exhibits are received. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Strang. Ma'am, I don't mean to make you feel left out, but I'm not going to ask you any questions. Okay, thank you. All right, the witness is excused, and I think with that witness, we're going to adjourn for today. Members of the jury, since you are leaving for the weekend, I'm going to read the usual admonishment to you, but in a little more detail. And as I have previously informed you, the court's decision not to sequester the jury in this case is dependent on the jurors not listening to, watching, or reading any news accounts of the case, not discussing it with anyone, including members of your family or other jurors. For these reasons, it is vital that you do not listen to any conversation about this case. Do not read any newspaper or internet reports or listen to any news reports on the radio or television about this case. To assure that you are not exposed to improper media coverage, the court has ordered that for the duration of the trial, you do not watch the local news on television, do not listen to the local news on radio, and do not read the newspaper unless you first have someone remove any articles about this case. In addition, do not visit any internet websites or weblogs which may include any information about the case. The court understands that some of you may be working at places of employment during the weekend. Do not discuss the case with any employers, employees, or patrons. Do not volunteer your status as a juror to anyone. If anyone attempts to discuss the case with you, politely but firmly notify them that you are prohibited from discussing this case. If you are involuntarily exposed to information about the case from any source, take steps to immediately avoid any further exposure. Should you be exposed to any reports or communications from any source concerning the case during the trial, you should report that fact to the jury bailiff. With that, you are excused at this time, and we will see you Monday morning. Counsel, I would like you to stop very briefly in chambers before leaving today. We'll do that. All right. That is the end of that Q&A. Let's see what else we have for practice. All right, here we go. We'll start out with defense attorney. Ready? Your Honor, I would ask that this be admitted and published as 3315-002. No objection. Okay. Now, Mr. Grant, I'll wait for this to come up on the screen. What I've just highlighted lists or contains the variations playlists that are on this YouTube page, right? Yes, sir. And these are categories or playlists created by the user, by the account holder. Yes, sir. And so one of the accounts was actually named, or one of the playlists was actually called terrorists. Yes, sir. And what does it mean that there's this gray box without an actual picture visible there? Well, if you open up that actual area, it would indicate that the video is no longer available. For some reason, it was taken off YouTube. Yes, sir. And then, Your Honor, if I could get the screen for the witness, please, one more time. I'm putting on the screen what's been identified, Mr. Grant, as 3315-003. What is this? Again, this is just another page on the YouTube. As we saw before, a person could subscribe to a channel. So when they do subscribe to a channel, it just keeps a collection of which channels you're subscribed to so that you can quickly access them if needed. Your Honor, I'd ask that this also be admitted and published. Okay. So, Mr. Grant, are these the 4 subscribed channels that were on the Tamerlan Tsarnaev page? Yes, sir. Now, finally, were you provided with access to the forensic image of a cellular telephone identified? Tamerlan Tsarnaev cellular telephone identified by the FBI as HTC, the brand 1B1. Yes, sir, I was. And did you extract a file or files and also run some reports about the contents of that phone? Yes, sir. I'm going to put up on the screen, just for the witness, if I could, what's previously been marked as 3317-1-3. What is this particular document, Mr. Grant? What I did is I took the physical extraction of the phone that was provided to us and processed it in a program called Cellebrite Physical Analyzer. From there, it allowed me to quickly pull out and sort individual categories that came from the phone: contacts, videos, audios, and those types. In this case, what I was able to do is then open up that particular class of entries that were in the phone, list them out, and then extract them to an individual report. And so what is this particular report? This one specifically is just for the contacts, indicating that there was 166 contacts within this phone, and is the tool that you use to extract this report a reliable tool used by professionals in your field? Yes, it's actually the same tool that was used to provide the extraction. And did you similarly create reports from this phone for the call log? Not the call log. Well, let me see if I can refresh your recollection. I'm going to put up exhibit 3317-1-2, again just for the witness. Does that refresh your recollection about extracting the call log? Yes, sir. Okay, and did you also extract a list of the audio files on the phone as 3317-1-1? Yes, sir. And did you also extract a list of the video contents of the phone as 3317-1-4? Yes, sir. Your Honor, I don't necessarily want to publish them now, but I just ask that all those be admitted into evidence for the moment, if I could. No objection. All right. We're at 1 o'clock. Where are you in your exam? I'm getting very close. In fact, the last issue was one as to which I understand there was an objection at the beginning of the proceedings today that we would probably address before I go there. Well, why don't we take the lunch recess and we'll discuss that before we reconvene. All right, and that will conclude our Q&A practice.